Hello and welcome to Lilith Astrology. I'm Adama Cisse, your astrologer, and I'm going to talk to you today about Jupiter, the benefic planet Jupiter. So Jupiter rules the signs both Pisces and Sagittarius. And if you really think about the energy of these two signs, they are, I feel like whenever there are co-rulers to a planet, really each sign represents two kind of different ends of the spectrum of the entire energy of the planet. So Jupiter is really all about luck, expansion, growth, optimism, but it's also about religion in terms of wisdom. It's all about philosophy in terms of wisdom and growth and expansion of these ideologies through experience. It's really, Jupiter energy is like the scholar or someone that graduates and they go to get their PhD and they go to college and they're really seeking knowledge. Or it's kind of like a monk that goes, on a quest to find, the meaning behind life and growing themselves more, in a spiritual sense. So that's the Piscean side. And then the Sagittarian side is really all about that's really the optimism, the growth, the expansion through experience on that end of the spectrum. So I think it's a very interesting dynamic, these two signs, and very interesting energy with Jupiter because, we call the planet Jupiter lucky for a reason, because wherever it is in your birth chart, that's where this luck and expansion and growth plays out for you. And things, depending on how your Jupiter is aspected, things come easy for you. And everyone has Jupiter somewhere in their chart. In certain sign, in a certain house, everybody has this. So it's great to know where this is in your chart in order to fully maximize the benefits of it. Because another thing with Jupiter is you have to also put effort towards using that energy in the right way to see the benefits. And, as I'm filming this video, actually Jupiter is going direct today in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's been retrograde since April this year. So I just thought it made sense to not only break down this event, but also to tell you what Jupiter means in general and what it can mean for you within your own birth chart. I also think that with life path and with career, understanding your Jupiter energy can really help you figure out what it is that you're meant to do in this life, because Jupiter is where we can obtain abundance, so and grow and prosper. So I think everybody wants that in their life for the most part, in terms of their career and what they do every single day. So I think having your career line up with your Jupiter energy a little more can just really be helpful in finding your calling and finding out like what it is that is comes easy to you in this life, and how you should be manifesting abundance and that luck for yourself. You need to also kind of understand what your energy is and what can be abundance for you, and like make the decisions based on that information, that in order to see that luck and that growth for yourself. Another thing also to consider with the planet Jupiter is Jupiter actually also goes retrograde, and during the time that I'm filming this, Jupiter is going direct, and it has been retrograde since April earlier this year. So when Jupiter moves retrograde, and you can have it in your chart, I have Jupiter retrograde personally in my chart. This is some past life information. Jupiter retrograde means that in a past life, things may have not come as easily to you, and you may have also been persecuted for your religious views, or your just who you are and your ideals and philosophies. They just may not have been widely accepted, and they may have gone against the grain. And so you may have been persecuted for that and carried over into this life. Basically, people with Jupiter retrograde, that luck and expansion and growth can only be manifested when there are changes that happen inward. So basically, a lot of it is turned to internal growth, luck, and expansion that then will help you manifest that in your life. So let's get started. I'm going to talk in detail about Jupiter through each sign and Jupiter through each house. And so, if you have Jupiter in Cancer in the 10th, I would suggest watching the Jupiter in Cancer portion, but then you could also watch Jupiter in the 10th and see where that plays out. You can kind of see. You can also watch Jupiter in the 4th, which is Cancerian energy as well. So let's get started. So Jupiter in the first house of self. So when Jupiter is basically, when you show up in the room, that Jupiter energy is very apparent to other people. And someone who has Jupiter in the first house really, especially during early childhood, was just an extremely optimistic person, free-spirited. Just you really went through a lot of growing experiences and experiences that taught you for later down the road. I think you also may have been impulsive, and you kind of were, the kid on the playground that would, kind of be getting into trouble because you just wouldn't really let anything stop you from experiencing something and moving forward. And, I think as someone gets older with Jupiter in the first, that learning never really stops. I think that they really want to travel. They want to experience things. Like that's how, and it's kind of like the sign Sagittarius and like people who have that placement, they really learn and they grow and they experience luck and their full potential when they are experiencing new things, experiencing new places and traveling and getting to know other cultures. This is why Sagittarians are kind of, the gypsy world traveler, because that is what feeds their soul. So someone with Jupiter on their ascendant or in their first house kind of goes through some similar ways of thinking and living and how they present themselves to the world. And I think they also can have a good rapport with people. I think they're really good with, they're friendly and they can make friends very easily. And they kind of can expand they probably have a lot of friends actually from different countries and can expand their social circle all over the world and just have friends all over the world in different places. And I think they also, as far as romantic, they can be involved more with people from different backgrounds because they can learn something from these people. So it's really all about learning and experiencing in order to grow and create and have luck. So very lucky placement to have. And moving on to Jupiter in Aries. So Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter in Aries people, I'm a Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter in Aries people really experience growth and luck, and they're very optimistic in terms of taking the lead and being a leader. These people are just very, they can come across, they're very dominant. They are meant to be leaders in this life, and this is something that comes natural to them. And in order to be fully fulfilled in their lives, they must always be taking the lead and being the one to initiate things first. And that through that they can really see the world expand and see luck coming in and things coming to fruition that they want and need. So moving on to Jupiter in the second house of earned income, abundance, self-esteem, security. This is also the Taurus house. So this doesn't just mean that you're going to be rich, but creating abundance. And this also depends on how Jupiter is aspected. Let me, remind you that as well. But creating abundance and feeling good about yourself and manifesting, creating abundance comes very easily to you. And I really feel like people with this placement with Jupiter in the second house really they really embody the law of attraction, or just having the optimism and feeling good and secure in yourself and having self-esteem and knowing why wouldn't I be able to you know, do this job really well and get a promotion and get a raise and get a bonus. I deserve it. So these people are really the embodiment of that. And I really think through having that optimistic energy, and that self-esteem, and just having that strong, you know, solar plexus chakra through that, can then, you know, manifest, and really see luck and see expansion and see growth, in that area of their life. I think they do really well in the workplace in terms of making money and, you know, growing a company. They really can feel that this is just something that comes very easily to them in their life. So very lucky placement as well. I'm going to say that with every single every single house, but it really is. So congrats if you have this placement in your birth chart. And so moving on to Jupiter in Taurus. So people with this very realistic, fixed earth sign, and they have Jupiter in this fixed earth sign, they're very steadfast in creating growth and creating luck and creating abundance. They can, you know, create tangible results, you know, when they go after their goals. They're somebody who can visualize what they want and, you know, slowly build and take the steps necessary to get exactly what they want. One thing I think to watch out for is people with Jupiter and Taurus can overindulge, because they are able to, you know, obtain a lot materially. So I think one thing to watch out for is that, and also being sure to be altruistic and help others, and, you know, through having all of these things yourself, sharing that with others who are in need, and uplifting others is another way that they can feel fully fulfilled and experience that growth and the positive benefits of Jupiter versus just kind of keeping it all to themselves and overindulging. So great placement. And moving on to Jupiter in the third house of communication. So Jupiter in the third house, which is also a Gemini house, these people are very articulate talkers, and really, like, someone who is a good writer and can make a lot of money from writing books would have this placement. They're really all about luck and expansion and growth in terms of the way that they communicate, the ideas they communicate, the thoughts that they communicate, how they communicate it. They're just very articulate and just can really create abundance through their speech. Also, having Jupiter in the third house can mean if you have siblings, you had great relationships with them, depending on how your Jupiter is aspected, or you may have just had a lot of Jupiter Sagittarian energy, or Piscean energy with, you know, your siblings. You may have had a Sagittarius sister or brother, or had a sibling with Jupiter very present in their chart. I think you also maybe had a lot of friends growing up very easily, especially in elementary and kindergarten. It was very easy for you to have good relationships with them. You also may have really good relationships with your neighbors and the people, you know, in your immediate surrounding, and you just really like to have them over, and you know, you're having neighborhood parties, and just kind of really involved heavily with your community. So great placement to have. And moving on to Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. So actually, you know, Jupiter honestly is a very lucky planet, regardless if it's retrograde or, like in this case with Jupiter and Gemini, it's in its detriment. So when a planet is in its detriment, all it means is that it takes a little more effort for it to fully perform and fully function, and the full traits of that planet can have some difficulty in fully functioning in that sign. So, I mean, Jupiter is a planet of luck and expansion and growth. So when it's in the sign of Gemini, which is a very, you know, it's all about network and communication and, you know, hopping around from place to place and socializing, like, things are very dispersed. So it's a little more difficult for a sign that's really all about growth and expansion and kind of seeing the longer vision and a long journey is in, you know, Gemini energy. It can have some difficulty fully expanding, you know, fully expanding and fully performing. But You know, when you have Jupiter in Gemini, this person can see their luck and life flourish when they are really using their quick wit and their intelligence and their communication and really fully pursuing that in their life. And they really are just amazing speakers and writers and just creative people. They may be creative in terms of, you know, they may be a creative songwriter or somebody who, you know, can make a lot of money and see a lot of growth in their life through pursuing that. So it's really similar to Jupiter in the third house. It's really all about speech for these people and recognizing that talent and putting, you know, effort into pursuing endeavors that will then kind of give them that abundance and that luck through pursuing that heavily. So Jupiter in the fourth house of home and family. This is the Cancer house. So this is where all of your growth and optimism and luck, you know, manifested in your life, and your family that's where it all manifested for you. You may have had a actually very large family, or you may have some seriously close ties and love for your roots and your ancestors and, you know, the people that came before you. You may have inherited a lot of money from these people. You know, you may be, you know, a rich prince, and through your ancestry and the people that came before you, you are abundant in this life because of them. You also just can have like a really great rapport and great relationship with your mother and with the people that were your caretakers for you growing up. And I think that, you know, family has always been a great place for you to land and fall on, and some people that you can really rely on. They may also be, you know, well-to-do, not also in terms of giving you money or giving you property, but you may have seen growth and success in your career through family ties, the connections that you have through your family, like somebody who may be like a child of a rock star, you know, and was able to have a career because basically they have that famous name. So that's kind of what Jupiter in the fourth house means. And so similar to Jupiter in the fourth house, Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, which is actually in its exaltation. So Jupiter is in its home sign when it's in Sagittarius or Pisces, but when Jupiter is in Cancer, it can really perform and, you know, kind of exhibit its maximum qualities in the sign of Cancer, which is very interesting. So somebody who has Jupiter in Cancer, definitely saw a lot of growth, expansion, and luck in terms of their relationship with their mother. The mother played a huge role in their, you know, ability to create an abundant life for themselves. The relationship with her is very important to them. And, you know, she was the one that kind of probably taught them everything they know and was really responsible for, you know, their success and having a happy life. She really took care of this person and made sure that they were doing well for themselves. And as a result, I think these people can really have a nurturing quality about them. And wherever this is placed in their life, they really, when they're exhibiting nurturing, intuitive, and empathetic qualities for other people, they can really help others grow and expand and be, you know, better in their lives and grow. Someone who maybe is, you know, a counselor can really, you know, have that quality about them that really can help other people and help change other people on the inside and be better people in general. So Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. So when Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, it actually can perform at its best. You know, secondary to when it's in its home signs of Pisces or Sagittarius, Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer. So when I say a planet is exalted, that essentially means that it is easy for Jupiter to really perform and give the benefits of whatever house and area of life that, you know, it's manifesting in for you. So this is a great placement to have. And so when Jupiter is in the sign of the mother archetype, this person definitely had a benefic and positive relationship with their mother. Their mother may have been responsible for a lot of the wisdom and growth that they've experienced in their life. They also, in turn, may be an extremely nurturing person. I think Jupiter and Cancer people will come to find that their luck and expansion and growth comes when they are essentially being a mother and being nurturing and being empathetic and altruistic and helpful to other people. They see themselves grow and they see the fruits of their labor more when they harness this energy within themselves, because they learned also from someone who, you know, they learned the mother archetype behavior from their mother in a positive way. Their mother they may get like an inheritance from their mother. They may, you know, they have close ties to their roots and their ancestry, similar to Jupiter in the 4th house. And you know, the people that came before them, they have a lot of respect. And, you know, their family name may be held in high regard. And that's something that has helped them in their life and kind of, you know, been a beneficial energy for them. I think, you know, some great careers for someone with Jupiter in Cancer could be, you know, a teacher, maybe a early childhood education teacher, maybe, you know, pediatric nurse or pediatrician, or someone that's really taking on a nurturing role, or someone that works for a nonprofit, a social worker, and just really nurturing people. They really will see a lot of luck just come through when they harness this side of themselves. So that's Jupiter in Cancer. Moving on to Jupiter in the 5th house. So Jupiter in the 5th house. This is the Leo house. And when Jupiter is transiting, or you're born with Jupiter in the 5th house, you are just very fun to be around. This is something that comes extremely easy to you. Self-expression, creativity, love, romance. You are the life of the party, and you are somebody that people just, when you enter a room, you stir things up and you make things fun and people just want to be around you. I think, you know, the arts, someone could make with Jupiter in the 5th, could make a great actor. They can make an excellent painter or singer or whatever form of creative self-expression that they decide to do. This is, you know, this person will be fabulous at it and will be able to make money and create abundance and create a life for themselves by, you know, channeling this creative self-expression the right way. I think, and I also say the right way, because another thing too is it's like there can be the tendency to overindulge on fun or party too much or drink too much or, you know, gamble too much. So, you know, there's always like a flip side to it. So I think it's channeling this fun, creative personality into, you know, the right avenues, and that's how you will see, you know, the benefits of Jupiter. Versus if you overindulge, that's when you get sick, or just it's not, you know, a positive thing. So it's using that energy in the right way. So it's a very fun placement. I love Jupiter in the 5th house, and it's you know, it's very creative and eclectic. And moving on to Jupiter in Leo, and this is a similar situation as well. So Jupiter in Leo. When Jupiter is in the sign of generosity and creativity, self-expression, warmth, these people really see the benefits of Jupiter when they are exuding all of these qualities, when they are really, you know, being generous with others, being warm to others, exhibiting those Leo qualities. They may be very great in the creative fields, and if they're channeling their creativity in the right way, similar to a Jupiter in the 5th house person, they really, you know, can receive some lucky benefits from the planet Jupiter. I think these people, one lesson that a Jupiter in Leo will learn is how to balance. and not to overindulge and, get too into the fun part of the Leo energy. I think they will understand the value of generosity as they get older, and through understanding this Jupiter placement as well, they will harness that part of themselves. And when they do, that's when they start to see the benefits from Jupiter coming through. But these people are just extremely creative and playful and fun. They also may be really great with children, or have a lot of children of their own, with ease, with this placement, and just have a lot of fun with their children and are just great parents and fun to be around. And also, I think whatever house is playing out, they are just, a light and a joy when they enter a room, whether, maybe a sixth house, Jupiter and Leo, and at work, they really are the leader that a lot of people look up to, and just feel comfortable around, and, have the workplace is fun and engaging. If this is happening for you in the 11th house, you are a fun friend and you are always networking and meeting amazing people that help you with creative projects. So it really depends on what house is playing out, but not overindulging, and really being sure to take care of others, and you will start to see the fruits of your labor. So Jupiter in the 6th house. So when Jupiter is in the house of daily life and habits and work, routine, health, basically all of these things they come easy to you. I think you may have, very good health routine and just be balanced in terms of being able to structure your day, and go about your day. I think you also have a lot of integrity when it comes to work and the environment at work and your coworkers. You believe everyone should be treated with respect, and you make sure that you do the same. You can also receive a lot of benefits easily from coworkers and colleagues. You may also make a lot of friends in the workplace and just have an easy time getting along with people there. I think also Jupiter in the 6th people, through understanding this energy, they can learn the art of balance, because, health is here as well. But you may kind of, if your Jupiter energy isn't channeled in the right way, you could kind of overindulge in certain foods and overindulge too much and kind of work yourself to death in terms of exercise, and not really balancing that part of your life, or getting too obsessive over it. So I think with Jupiter in the 6th house, understanding that balance. So moving on to Jupiter in Virgo. So when Jupiter is in the sign of Virgo, people with this placement can really see their luck and the benefits from Jupiter coming from when they are exhibiting Virgo qualities, which is all about attention to detail, being in order, taking care of your health, taking care of your daily duties and your daily life. This person, when they are accepting of this side of themselves, and when they are really harnessing that power that they have, they can really see the benefits from Jupiter play out in their life, and really see growth and expansion through, exhibiting these Virgo qualities. These people really gravitate more towards, the health field, potentially maybe being a dietitian or, registered nurse, or someone that not only takes care of people in their health, but also makes recommendations in how to better, lead their lives in a healthy way, how to organize their day better. Just like a random example, somebody who could organize someone's closets in their life, and they could be a really great admin assistant, or someone that's an assistant to someone full-time, that can really, be a good career path for you, and you really will see a lot of abundance from kind of pursuing that as an interest. So when the planet of Jupiter is in the sign of Virgo, it is actually in its detriment. So this is basically different when, how I explained earlier, Jupiter in Cancer is in its exaltation. When Jupiter is in Virgo, in its detriment, it can be a little more difficult for Jupiter to fully perform there. It's kind of, I mean, this is similar to Gemini, Jupiter and Gemini. It's also in its detriment there as well. And one similarity is that Gemini and Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by the planet Mercury. So really, Jupiter is all about growth and expansion. When it is in the sign of Virgo, that is, orderly and attention to detail, sometimes these people may not feel like they're lucky, but truly understanding this placement to its fullest, and that no, your potential is really in exhibiting those Virgo qualities. You will then start to see the fruits of Jupiter's, fruits of your labor. But basically, you may feel like some resistance, or Jupiter is just a little bit harder to perform in the sign. So it may be a little bit frustrating at times, but I think through astrology and through understanding it, more, you can see, that luck and that the benefit from Jupiter being in Virgo for you. So here we are with Jupiter in the 7th house of relationships, both business and personal. So basically, when Jupiter is in the 7th house, you can really have feel a lot of expansion and growth through partnerships, whether it's being in a marriage or being in a business partnership. You flourish best when you are in dealing with other people. When you are in a cohesive and healthy relationship and the give and take is balanced and healthy. And you are someone that's very good at that. You work very well with others. You are very relationship oriented. I think also obtaining relationships and commitment in your life came extremely naturally to you and was very easy. So understanding this about yourself, I think, can, validate some of this experience that you probably already know because it comes so naturally to you. But understanding too, like if you decide to go into business, it's always better for you personally to have a partner or to have someone to bounce ideas off of and, share a lot of the responsibility and a lot of, the weight of things. So, and, overall you value people and you value relationships and you value this part of your life. And this is something extremely important to you. So moving on to Jupiter in Libra, similar to Jupiter in the 7th house, these people see a lot of success when they embrace partnerships and embrace working with other people. They really can mediate and see both sides extremely well. These people could make great lawyers or work in politics or in the law because they know, they want to fight for what's just and what's right for people. And they can really see, they're fair-minded. They can see both sides of situations and speak objectively. And I think that's what also gives them the capacity to really be great at one-on-one personal relationships. And this is really how they, when they are really doing this and harnessing this Jupiter energy about themselves, it can really help other people in their relationships and help, mediate. They could be a very great relationship coach as well. So we go from someone who could be a great lawyer and counselor in that respect, but someone who could counsel others, on techniques to be in a good relationship. These people really believe in equality and they really can see positive things happening for themselves when they're not just, bending to people's every will, but when they are taking care of their own needs but then also embracing relationships and embracing other people too. So, Libra energy can have the tendency to like people please too much. So a healthy vibration of this placement is to, work with others and work well with others and take care of each other's needs, but also making sure to take care of your own as well. So moving on to Jupiter in the 8th house, the Scorpio house. So these people actually, they see the fruits of Jupiter's energy when they are really putting their all into what they do. These people can make great researchers, they can work in the occult field. They have a lot of luck in terms of whether it be in witchcraft or astrology or some esoteric knowledge that a lot of other people don't know. These people can really absorb that information very easily. Another thing too is I think they can have a lot of luck in terms of inheritance, in terms of from their partner. They may marry, someone who, has money and can take care of them. And so they kind of have had luck in that respect. And, a great partner in terms of sharing resources and sharing, a home and sharing the money that you're bringing to the table. You're very good with kind of, working with somebody else in terms of building a home and building a life when you commit to somebody. These people also, occult doesn't, kind of going back to the occult, because this is a Scorpio house. These people also are not afraid of these topics, and they really love to get to the core of what they mean. And I think these people are really great at kind of uncovering mysteries, uncovering truths, and kind of getting to the root of certain things. So moving on to Jupiter and Scorpio, someone with this placement, really, they are meant to, really focus and uncover a lot of the world's mysteries. They can be great researchers. Again, with Jupiter in the 8th house, it can be great occultists, or, a detective or somebody that's really getting to the root and heart of a matter. They could work in science or really in a field that's all about discovery and solving mysteries and discovering something completely new. I think these people are very resilient. The sign of Scorpio is really known for the death and rebirth and transformation of oneself many times in one life. And I think these people, through self-transformation, they really, it benefits them extremely well. They have to always be transforming themselves and looking within and really digging deep in life. And that's how they can, see the benefits of their Jupiter placement, is really going after life and really changing and always be transforming themselves and turning themselves into something new. So we're up to Jupiter in the 9th house, the Sagittarius house, and Jupiter is very comfortable with being in the 9th house. These people are, in terms of their growth and expansion, they're really all about taking life, by the reins and really traveling and meeting new people. They love continuing education and expanding their mind philosophically. It's really, that's how they grow. They're not one to stay home all the time and stay in their hometown and, only have that perspective. They really need to push their boundaries and expand their horizons and expand their boundaries in order to really grow as a person and really see good results. These people are natural teachers, they're natural gurus, they love to learn. Someone with a Jupiter in the 9th placement really just loves to read and absorb knowledge and absorb new cultures and understand. They may not be religious, but they want to understand that religion and understand what it's about and really, take in that information so that they can form their own perspective on it. I think one thing to watch out for with Jupiter in the 9th is only thinking that that everything and that you may overindulge in your opinion and kind of push it on other people and sometimes not listen or kind of be stuck in your own you have a broadened view of the world, but believe that other people try to push your beliefs on other people and that what you say is possibly only true. So I think someone, channeling their Jupiter in the 9th energy well can really not only grow and expand their own knowledge, but also, if they're doing it in a healthy way and a mindful way, expand others' knowledge. This is the eternal teacher and someone who would make a great professor or, school teacher or someone that is really, or even, you know, some sort of religious teacher or guru as well. This is a great placement for that too. And you're really supposed to be expanding the mind and the consciousness of the masses, and helping shift their perspective, and you know, doing that in a healthy way. So this is similar to Jupiter and Sagittarius, which is up next. And right now, Jupiter just went direct in the sign of Sagittarius. So Jupiter is extremely comfortable and very, you know, easy to perform in its own sign. And when Jupiter is in Sagittarius, similar to Jupiter in the ninth, these people are really all about expanding the consciousness and the minds, and bringing wisdom to the masses. And really, they are leaders. They're natural born leaders. They can really see the bigger picture, and the way that they grow and expand themselves is through experience, and travel and learning and reading and, you know, talking to new people, and getting everyone's perspective before forming their own. These people can be extremely intelligent, and most of their intelligence doesn't just come from school, but it's based off of their travels and their knowledge of the world. So it's firsthand knowledge. These people are very forward-thinking. They really form their own philosophies. So they may read a lot of books from other philosophers, and then through that information be able to form their own opinion, and form their own point of view on a topic as well. And I think that they are fairly judgment free. These people, before passing a judgment, they really want to educate themselves on an issue first, and all sides of the issue, before kind of forming their own opinion. So very lucky placement to have. Jupiter is extremely comfortable in its home sign. And right now, we have Jupiter transiting Sagittarius, and it just went direct. So very, very interesting time. I think for everyone, there's going to be a lot of changes in whatever area this is manifesting for you. So very excited to see how this all manifests for everybody. So moving on to Jupiter in the 10th house of career, achievement, public life, the way public perceives you. This is the Capricorn house. Basically, these people they can be seen as successful. Achievement and status are very important to these people, and they really can see their life flourish when they are taking more leadership roles, and really leading a team, inspiring a team, and being, you know, a positive influence in their workplace, or, you know, wherever they are, you know, practicing and kind of living out the career. Wherever this may be, this is they, you know, are the leaders of their career, and you know, their field and what they do. So success may, you know, come very easily to you, and you are very you can inspire and lead a team very easily. This is just, you're a natural born leader. And many people may view you as being lucky in terms of career, because this is something that always has come naturally to you and always has come easily to you. So very great placement to have, very career-driven placement to have. And, you know, this is basically how the public sees you, and having this benefic planet right there really can help, you know, your progress in terms of your career and status, and where you are at in life. So moving on to Jupiter in Capricorn. When Jupiter is in Capricorn, this is the opposite of, you know, exaltation with Jupiter in Cancer. It's actually in its fall in the sign of Capricorn. So again, this means that it can take a little more effort and it take more time, I think, for Jupiter to fully express itself, and for you to see, you know, the luck and the benefits from, you know, this energy. Basically, these people are, you know, they can see a lot of luck with their career as well. You know, I think having this, you know, planet of this benefic planet in, you know, a Saturnian sign, a sign that's ruled by Saturn, like Capricorn, sometimes it may be a little more difficult for these people to perceive themselves as lucky, kind of like with Jupiter and Virgo. It's kind of sometimes can be a little bit of a you know, a struggle for them to fully see the expression of their Jupiter sign. But these people, through hard work and perseverance and structure, and being able to structure a team and being able to structure their lives, they can then see some like growth and benefits coming from that. Sometimes these people, the saying, don't get your hopes up. Sometimes these people could be a little bit more pessimistic because they have more of a realistic view on what luck is versus, very high expression like, Jupiter and Sagittarius, where it's like, oh, everything's fine and, things will work out. Sometimes these people can kind of fall back on feeling, a bit pessimistic. So I think that's one thing to kind of watch out for when you have a Jupiter in Capricorn, and like learn, it's all about learning to work with this energy. And with Jupiter in Capricorn, like Jupiter in the 10th house, position and status is important to this placement. They really see, their growth and expansion coming from being able to structure. Capricorn is all about structure, all about, the tangible, and really about not wasting time. And so these people are very efficient, and they really see their lives flourish more, and the people around them flourish when they are, being responsible and really sticking to the structure of their everyday. I think the key word with working with your Jupiter in Capricorn energy is efficiency. I think it's really all about, stripping away what is not needed and being able to properly structure. So say, your dream is to build a corporation. Someone with a Jupiter in Capricorn with that Saturnian energy can really, over a long span of time, put together tangible goals and tangible to-dos and things that, they can build something from the ground up over a long span of time. So it may seem like their journey is just long, and to them, they're like, oh, this is taking forever. This is not, I'm not lucky. But, I think through patience and time, they finally begin to see the fruits of what they've been working so hard on. So these are extremely hard workers and career-oriented people, and they can see a lot of luck with that over time if they really, stick to efficiency and structure, and, they'll get tangible, excellent results from that. So Jupiter in the 11th house, or the Aquarius house. Friendship and their network and maintaining a large group of friends, and really socializing and getting out there and really making those connections is extremely important to these people. I think they can experience a lot of luck coming their way through their connections and through their friends. So this is an excellent placement to have, say if you're in PR or you're somebody that's more in the public eye. You really, can experience a lot of luck from these people. And I think this also motivates you in life. Like, really, you are the ultimate networker, I guess I could say. I think also somebody with Jupiter and Aquarius can have a great career in the internet. I think that they are tapped into the collective consciousness, and they can really understand what's going on. So they could be a great, work in media and be a great writer in terms of communicating about issues that on a mass scale everybody's kind of worried about or talking about or thinking about. They really can tap into that energy. I think these people also can come up with very innovative ideas in regards to pushing humanity forward. They may be somebody who, runs a sustainability startup and comes up with something extremely unique that can help shift climate change and help shift the world. So these people are always thinking of ways that benefit all of us and the collective as a whole. I think they also learn a lot from other people. They learn a lot from these interactions with people. So that's why they are so important, because that's how they expand themselves and grow as a person, and receive the benefits of life is through their connections with other people. These people have tons and tons of friends. I think another great thing about Jupiter in the 11th house is these people can really be charity focused in terms of helping large groups of people. This is something that's extremely important to them, so they could get involved in more social causes that like, help the earth and help people in the collective. So they really are tapped into the collective consciousness, and that's something that is extremely important to them. And so this is similar with someone with Jupiter in Aquarius. These people have a very unconventional and revolutionary outlook on life, and this benefits them when they are really tapped into, what is going on with the world as a whole. How can I help the world as a whole? If they really are focused on that, they can really see some positive results in their life, in terms of their work, in terms of themselves and how they feel about themselves and their happiness. They're extremely fulfilled and happy when they are, doing something on a mass scale that's helping uplift and shift and move humanity forward. Jupiter and Aquarius people are also great friends, similar to Jupiter in the 11th house, and you really can see, the benefits coming from their connections. They are someone who, they could have made a friend 10 years ago in a foreign country, and this friend all of a sudden, they may be getting a great Jupiter transit, something beneficial hitting their Jupiter, their natal Jupiter in Aquarius, and this friend could call them up and say, hey, I got this, new deal, or I have this business idea, and that could completely catapult their career even more forward. So these are types of people who, it's connections, it's about everything, and it's really also about uplifting the collective consciousness, and how can you expand their knowledge, expand who they are, expand their wisdom, and really pass on, the things that you believe, to shift and change humanity. So moving on to Jupiter in the 12th house. So these are natural born healers. These people are completely tapped into the spiritual realm and can use this intuition and ability to help other people. I believe that these would make great clairvoyant healers, great psychics, astrologers, tarot readers, somebody who is involved in a spiritual practice, or maybe even from a religious perspective as well. Someone who helps heal other people through wisdom of esoteric and religious or philosophical knowledge. I think these people really can find peace through meditation, and they can do very well alone. I think a lot of their introspectiveness really feeds them, and it's something that is a must for somebody who has a Jupiter in the 12th house placement, in order to fully use their gifts for the benefit of themselves and mankind. Jupiter performs very well in the 12th house. It's the Pisces house. So I think this type of person really has to make sure to have their alone time to really meditate and receive the information that they regularly get from the universe. And I think they're also just extremely lucky people, and they kind of get saved fairly easily from certain situations, and it might be this, they just have a lot of faith in the universe and faith in themselves, and they really have faith in other people. And I think they vibrate their highest when they're helping other people, when they're using their gifts to help other people, when they are, charitable and generous. They really experience inner growth, and also can experience growth, material growth, and overall just feel more at peace and fulfilled as a person. So this is similar to Jupiter in Pisces, where Jupiter is in one of its home signs and is very comfortable here. And so basically when you are serving others, this is where you can shine and see most of your luck from the planet Jupiter, is when you truly are helping others and taking others into consideration. This is a very charitable position to have. This is someone who could be, philanthropist, and just really help people who are in need, help people who are sick, help counsel people. This could also make a great counselor and somebody that is, someone people can lean on and listen to. I think also Jupiter and Pisces people are very empathetic. So they also have to be careful to take care of their needs and take care of themselves first and not completely sacrifice everything, because they can have a tendency to overdo it and really kind of sacrifice themselves time and time again. So it's always great for them to realize taking that time out for themselves, similar to Jupiter in the 12th, making sure you're having that alone time, making sure you're meditating, making sure you're really practicing self-care, because you can't really help other people if you're not helping yourself. So I definitely believe that these people have such a great talent to offer to the world in terms of you know, transforming lives, but they have to take care of themselves first. So that is Jupiter through all 12 signs and all 12 houses. Thank you for watching. If you have any further comments or questions on Jupiter or Jupiter direct, ask them in the link below. Don't forget, if you want to know more about your birth chart, you want to know more about your transits, want to know more about your progress chart, anything astrological related, don't forget to book a reading in the link below. And I hope you have an amazing and lovely Jupiter direct. Bye.